Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am equally excited and dubious today because it's a donut vlog, so obviously very excited. Slightly dubious because it is going to be his makeover and he's going to have a haircut. Ain't you gorgeous? So I'm not sure how he'll be with the clippers. I've never clipped him before, but I'm sure we'll find out. So this is how the big orange man is looking at the moment. He's not best impressed that he's tied up. So you can see why I've not bothered clipping him until we really need to, because he's not got endless coat. It's not the thickest, but he is actually a real hot bod. So he's had a bath this week, but he's obviously not the cleanest because you might be aware he lives out 24/7. We're currently in Maggie's stable. He has his own shelter, don't you? And he lives out with his friend Flint in the next door field, and they have a shelter each. And he loves it. He really likes living out. And he's quite calm in the stable now as well, aren't you? Whereas he wasn't when we first got him, not on this yard at least. He seemed quite calm on his old yard, but that was in a nice big barn where he could see other horses. Whereas these stables, you can't, they're just enclosed and they can only see another horse if they look out. So my plan is I'll give him a quick groom, get any little patches of mud off, and then we're going to put him in the wash box, I think, for your haircut. I'm not sure. We'll have to see where he's most relaxed because he's standing quite nicely here. If he's more relaxed just stood in the stable, I will do him in the stable. And we're gonna, if he's good, if he can deal with it and he's happy, I want to take everything off, but we will see. I'll start on my shoulders and I'll go and test everywhere else out before we do it, because we might just need to do it over a few days. It just depends on what you think. I think we'll be good. He says, of course we'll be good. I'm the golden boy. Who? Good boy. So Donut has been ticking over during the winter, and then he's had a bit of a mini break, so he's just worked at weekends, and then for the last 3-4 weeks I've been bringing him back in to work, but he's been getting very hot while he's been working, and he's working quite well now in schooling, and I really want to crack on. So now is the time to get the haircut done, because next month we have our first event. So I really need to crack on with the training now. So chilled. Good boy. He says, finally, I am back. I am the important one. Good boy. Right, let's get going. So before I bring Donut into the wash box, I thought I would talk you through the clippers that I've got set up. So this is my setup. These are my main clippers, and they actually, you can have them with a battery, which is here, but I have plugs up there, so it's actually so easy just to have them plugged in rather than having to worry about the battery dying. So I tend to do that. These ones I tend to do any tidying up and plug into the battery, or I can just switch them into the plug-in part. This is taped up because it's ended up cracked, but that's sort of well used clippers. They've had a bit of a clean before, since Titan, and they'll go off to be serviced soon once I've done the last clip. These I do any tidying up. Interestingly, Titan hates them. He much prefers being done with these. So we're just gonna have to see what Danny likes. And then these new little clippers, lovely and quiet, and they we bought them recently. They're ex-demo, and we use them for faces and any trimming and tidying up and blending, and it's been much easier to clip Titan's face with those. So that is my array. I've got my brush to brush it off. I've got my clipper oil. These are spare blades, so I have 3 on the go, the ones that are on, and then these 2. They came back in these boxes from when they got sharpened, and they're really good. So yeah, that is what we will be using today. And as for me, I am now in clipping attire, which is one of my old jackets, and then waterproof trousers, because I hate hair getting everywhere. And it's a shame because I really like this jacket, but it has pretty much died a bit of a death now, so we're using it for the end of its life with being clipped. And I've not really got too many layers on underneath because it's warm today. All right, Donutty? He says, I'm ready for my haircut. Thank you. And Flint says, I'm ready for my haircut. You ready for your haircut, Flinty? You're so cute. No thanks. Okay then, buddy. Let's get going.
I know that you're trying to fix me, but I don't want to be like you. If you want to take it back to the 50s, maybe I'm not the guy for you. You're dying not to work, but work until you die, you know that's true. Have you thought it through? Cause you love to tell me what to do.
Okay, so Donut has been really good. He doesn't mind the big clippers at all. He's been fantastic, but he was dancing around a little bit and just starting to shake, so I've decided I'm going to take him and give him a go in the stable, because he was really cool when we were doing the intro in the stable. I've already taken off so much hair in about 10 minutes. Literally, I've just been like whoosh, straight off. But I don't want him to get too stressed, because he's a really high energy kind of guy. And he was great. I just switched the clippers on and stood with him. I've obviously switched them on around him when he's not been tied up previously, just to check if he would flatten himself to the wall, and he's not fussed about that. So I've just popped him in the stable. He's got Flint next door, who is like a really good nanny for him. He leans on Flint quite a lot for the calmness. So I'm thinking tie him up in the stable and give him a go in there, because I'm wondering if he'll just stand still in there, because he's really not bothered about the clippers. But problem with the wash box is, like, they're tied up here and then it's quite a way to be able to see out, and they can't see anything. And just someone reversed out in one of their cars from the houses across the way, and he just really felt nervous because he could hear stuff going on but couldn't see it. So I'm thinking going and letting him look out his stable door, and I'm going to grab a haylage net and tie one up for him. I think that'll just be a nicer experience. But how are we doing, Donny? You good boy. Yes, brave boy. So see how he reacts when we switch them on. Ooh, good boy. They're quite loud. They're not as loud as really heavy duty ones. So as you can see, he's not flattening himself to the wall. He's not bothered. If I reach out, good boy. He's not scared. Good lad. He says, I would rather not be getting done, but it's fine. So we're going to crack on. I find if they're ever a bit sensitive to sound, I try and just leave them on. We don't go on, off, because that's what makes them jump when they switch on. Because it's nice and quiet. And then you're like, ah, and it's really loud. So let's get going with this side. I'm feeling positive. I don't see why we shouldn't get everything done. Touch some wood. I've just oiled the clippers. If you don't know, you should oil them every 5 to 10 minutes. And then take the excess hair off, because otherwise they get hot. That's why I have 3 blades on the go. Because I'll keep feeling this bit here, making sure they're not getting too hot. And if they're getting a bit warm, I just switch them over before they get too hot. And then this is a magnetic dish, like the one I use my studs for. And I just sit it in there and let the oil go on it, and that helps cool them down.
Say no, I'm not like you, I don't think that you get it. You should go and get out, I'll make you regret it. Someone like you should worry about, maybe your two's upside down. And I'm not like you, I don't think that you get it. I don't wanna put on a smile, everybody expects me to. So you can keep your suit and your tie, gotta hope that it strangles you.
Goodness me. He's been so good. He's barely moved. Obviously we're still patchy if you go close up. So I'll tidy all of that up later, but the blades are a little bit warm, so it's time to change over. Don't you look well? He says I'm beautiful, and I know it. I've just been recording, but not recording, talking to you without pressing the button, which is really annoying. I was just saying I'm really pleased with him. He's not moved. I think he looks fantastically well. He's lived out 24/7 all winter, and I thought that I'd have to rug him up quite a lot, but actually you good boy. He's quite a hot bod. He seems to run really hot. And to be honest, I've had to take my jacket off because the heat expiring off of him, now I'm taking his coat off from insulating it. I can understand why he's getting so sweaty when I ride him, and he doesn't need much rugging because he obviously just generates all of his heat from his food. So yes, buddy, we're chatting. So I'm just stopping to change the clipper blades. I've already taken off the screw that was on here, and there was the pin that was through like this, and obviously then to there, this screws on that. So I've taken these bits off. There's because I'm going to switch the blades, give the clippers a little bit of a clean inside. Don't switch them on while we're doing that. So the clippers blades come off in two parts. One big part, that's the plate that you have running next to them, and then this bit, and this is the bit that, sorry donut, that's the bit that makes it go side to side. And this, I think it spins round, but it actually makes this bit go side to side, and that's your cutting motion. So these I will give a clean off and let cool. I'm going to switch to the other clipper blades. This, if you see, I need to take all of that hair out and make sure it's nice and clean. And then we'll carry on, and I'll just keep whipping everything off, and then I'll tidy up later on. I'm amazed at how good he's been, although I did have a little feeling. I was hoping he was going to be good. I've not attempted anything on his face, but it's been fine with me just straight up. I'll just have to stand on my stool because I can't reach. Yeah, so let's go. I just like to use a little old body brush, and I do this to get as much of the hair out as I can. Some people use a toothbrush. I've killed off all my toothbrushes that I've had to use, so not replace them. So much cleaner, yeah. And then I go for a new set of clipper blades, and you go, God, I do this with a table in front of me usually. So this one goes in like so. These are my Lister Liberty clippers, so it just depends on your brand and your clippers as to how they go together. So then that sits on top on these roller bits here. So it's like that. You make sure it's properly slotted in. If you were doing this, I don't know if there is any sort of clipping exam. There is when you're doing like national diploma and stuff, they do test you on it. So if you were doing that, you would switch your plug off of your clippers or unplug them or whatever. You then pop your pin through, and that's not sitting flush, which means I've not turned it the right way. So the pin has a little square within it, so you just make sure it's sitting flush, whereas before it was sitting like that. So that's the difference. You then pop it through, thumb on it to hold it down, and then twist this, and you go as tight as you can. Full tightness, because this is then going to tension the clippers. The tighter they are, the better they clip, but the tighter they are, the hotter the clippers get, because there's more resistance. So I find the best way, tight as you can. Then there's a little dial, see that bit just there, yeah, good boy Donutty. And then I just make a note of where the dial is, so it's pretty much facing down here, and then I go one full twist, so that's one full twist back to the same place, and then a half. And then you can just adjust them. So you switch them on and listen. I'm not going to do it because it'll make him jump. Switch them on and listen, and you can just tighten or loosen. And if they're not giving you a very good clip, think about adjusting this. If not, it's your blades need sharpening. So a little bit of an insight. This isn't a how-to video, but I thought I might as well include it in there.
Yeah, I do. Your guys said you don't need to impress the ones you hate. That's so up. Cause everything you own just ends up owning you. So, dear society, you suck. Say no, I'm not like you. I don't think that you get it. You should go and get out. I'll make you
how people do these clipping videos and still look immaculate at the end of it, because Donut is the best horse I've probably ever clipped. He's been so good. I'm hoping he's as good for his head. But he just stands there. He's a really good boy. I don't think I've ever clipped a horse so good, which is lovely. And boy, you're having a munch. So yeah, if I can't stay clean while doing this, then I've got no hope of staying clean while Mudgie's fidgeting or Titan is. Titan just gets tense and gets a bit upset, so you have to be tactical and careful. I think I'm going to go get him a little rug to hang over his bottom now. Look at him. Good boy. You need to finish him off, and then he needs a haircut on his mane and a bath.
Ooh. Outside of this box, who cares about your posts? I know they're only fake. Show us what you own and how much money that you make. Yeah, I know that you're trying to fix me, but I don't wanna be like you. Keep your stupid job, pretend that you're the person you wanted to be. And you're dying not to work, but work until you die. And you're dying not to work, but work until you die. You're dying not to work, but work until you die. You're dying inside.
Here we go. He's all beautiful. Good boy. Mr. Fit and Muscly. You're not rolling. Is that all your hair? Don't limbo. Yeah, good boy. Okay, so you may notice we still have Fairy. We've tried. He doesn't mind the clippers touching his ears, but he doesn't like the noise. But that rings true with him anyway, because he's really affected by sound. So, you know, one of those things, but I don't really think it's very obvious. Boy. And he's been such, it clinked. He's been such a good boy for everything else that we're not going to have a big argument. Mum's come and given me a hand and he's still not having it. So that's no biggie. No biggie, despite having big ears. I don't think I'd like anybody sticking clippers around my ears either. It'd be very loud. So we're going to clear up the hair. I think Mum's just gone to sweep up the hair in the wash box, and then I'm going to give him a quick wash down. And I quickly need to trim his mane, actually, so I'll do that.
Say no, I'm not like you. I don't think that you get it. You should go and get out and make you regret it. Someone like you should worry about. Maybe it's you who's upside down. I'm not like you. I don't think that you get it.
And this is the after. I didn't finish off the vlog the other day because it got dark. We've just been out jumping, so I'll insert some clips. But how smart does he look? You good boy.
Goes her own way, like he don't give a damn girl. And my God, she owns it. So many heartbreaks, goes back to 2014, and I think that she knows it. And if you've seen her, I know that you would believe it, 'cause I know that you'd want her to. Yeah, I do. Everyone's taking their shot, but missing out on the cut. I think she knows that. She drives them crazy when she's looking like that. The way she's moving makes them want it so bad. Gets the attention that we wish that we had. Yeah, it's almost cruel, 'cause I want her to. Oh yeah, I'm running in circles just to make her react. My heart is racing, yeah, I want her so bad. I wanna kiss her, but I know for a fact that she's way too cool. But I want her to. Oh yeah, ripped skinny jeans and tattoos on both her ankles. 21 Pilot t-shirt, that's the stuff. Goddamn, she's so fly. Knows how to write a good song, at least better than this. 'Cause if you've seen her, I know that you would believe it. 'Cause I know that you'd want her to. Yeah, I do. Come on and give it a shot, but you'll be missing the cut. I think she knows that. She drives him crazy when she's looking like that. The way she's moving makes him want it so bad. Gets the attention that we wish that we had. Yeah, it's almost cruel, 'cause I want her to. Oh yeah, I'm running in circles just to make her react. My heart is racing, yeah, I want her so bad. I wanna kiss her, but I know for a fact that she's way too cool. But I want her to. Everyone's taking their shot, showing all that they got, but they'll be missing the cut. I think she knows that. She drives him crazy when she's looking like that. The way she's moving makes him want it so bad. Gets the attention that we wish that we had. Yeah, it's almost cruel, 'cause I want her to.
Really super. And I'm going to say thank you very much for watching our vlog, and look forward to seeing more of the darling boy. Say goodbye, Donutty. Bye bye. Say bye bye, Mum.
Bye.